Hi, I'm Ted. Making stair stringers can be a little intimidating, but it's not that hard if you have the right tools. The hardest part is figuring out the rise to tread ratio. I have a link right here that has the formula. You can also buy a calculator that'll do that for you and make that task a lot easier. You'll need a good speed square that's made for laying out stringers, like this Swanson Big 12. Now these stringers are going to be for a deck. It's going to be outside, so I'm using pressure treated 2x12. First thing I'm going to do is make sure the crown is up. The crown is simply the highest part of the wood, and you have it standing on its axis like this. For these stringers, I was hoping to get a 7.5-inch rise and a 10-inch tread, but with the space that I have, I'm not going to be able to hit that, so I had to adjust it down to 7.25 inch. Every time you adjust the rise, the angle is going to change as well. The 7.25 inch for this job is going to get right at 36 degrees. With the point. 36 degrees. Take this big T-square here and flush it with the speed square. Just to double check and follow through on this line. It's looking pretty good, and that's where the main attachment to the deck's going to be. I want to make sure that's going to be level with the steps. You can also use a carpenter's square to lay these out. For these stringers, I need 4 treads. According to Swanson's Blue Book that came with the speed square I'm using, you should avoid going more than 8.25 inch rise, or less than 9-inch wide tread, and keep the angle of the stairs between 34 and 37 degrees. Cutting the marks out is easy enough. Just remember not to cut beyond the lines with your circular saw. Stop short just before the end of your mark and finish it off with a jigsaw, hand saw, or in this case a sawzall. Overcut marks will weaken your stringers and they are unsightly. The ideal rise for each riser is 7.5 inches. For the tread, it's 10 inches. When you get to the bottom riser, measure down the equal distance of the riser, in this case 7.25 inches, and use the proper side of the square to get the parallel mark for the bottom of the last tread. The goal is to make each step rise equally from the bottom to the top. make sure you have at least 4 inches right here from the bottom of the stringer to where the tread and riser meet. You have to have at least 4. We have a little over 5, so it's looking good. And now that I got the first one done, I can use it as a pattern and just transfer it onto the next one. I'm going to need 3 of these because my stairs are going to be more than 36 inches wide. But I'll show you a way to use the pieces we cut out to make the 3rd one. And it's straight out of the Swanson Blue Book. Okay, now that it's done, you can take this other stringer, hold it up next to it to compare. It's right on the money, looking really good. My stairs are going to be 48 inches wide. Anything over 36, you're going to need another stringer. I got a 10-footer to make these two, and it's not enough to make a 3rd. Even if it was 12 feet, it wouldn't be enough to make a 3rd. So what I'm going to do is take this 2x6 and use some of these cutout pieces and screw them in. I've already pre-drilled these. And what I'll do is hold them up next to this other stringer and just line them up, orient them the proper way, screw them in, trim them down if they need to be trimmed. Okay, I've trimmed the board down so it's even with the stringer on both sides. And we're just going to set these in place. Make sure they start evenly. And we're simply going to line them up with the other ones and screw them down. Up so that I know the front is going to be even. I know they're going to be in basically the same place, and we can always trim this back down. If you want it to fit perfectly, you can trim the bottom. Now we have a third stringer, and it's a lot cheaper than buying another 2x12. And finally, I'm just going to check it for flush and level right here, because I know this is flush and I know my floor is level. It's looking real good right there. Just another triple check with the speed square. It's right on the money. It's right where it needs to be.